Welcome back to the next session of microbes in human welfare. In the previous session, we came across microbes in sewage treatment plants, STPs, where the sewage water undergoes the process of filtration, sedimentation, purification, and the pure water is let into the aquatic water bodies to reduce the water pollution. That means microbes will play an important role in our day-to-day life, and we are using them in various parts. Along with that, let us come back to one more title where we call it as microbes in biogas plant. What is the role of these microbes in the production of biogas? Right. Now, biogas is the natural gas which is obtained from the cow dung, and hence the biogas plant, it is also named by one more name where we also call it as gobar gas. It is due to the raw material that we are using, which is called as an cow dung. With the use of this cow dung, we have got a Hindi name called as gobar gas. Okay. The biogas is also said to be gobar gas. Now, how the biogas is produced? First, we require the raw material and we require a plant where we call it as biogas plant, which is used to produce the methane gas. Okay. Now, let us go to the experimental setup of gobar gas. Then later on we will discuss regarding its contents. Now, in the biogas plant, here we have an inlet. Here we have a larger tank. This larger tank, we also call it as a digester tank. Then one more outlet tank. This is an outlet tank. Okay. It joins here. Now, this is an inlet, this is the digester, this is the outlet tank. This is a gas holder and a gas pipe. Now, here we have dung plus water. This side we have slurry. Okay, now here we have CH4 plus CO2 plus hydrogen gas. Now this is the digester, which measures around 10 to 15 feet in its depth. Okay, so this is the experimental setup of a biogas plant. Experimental setup of a biogas plant. Now this biogas, it consists of an inlet. This is the digester tank. This is an outlet tank, okay, where it consists of slurry. Now this can be done on the ground surface or it can be done below the ground surface, okay. So based on the requirement, and this biogas plant, it can be constructed in large scale based on the raw material available. If raw material available is abundant, we can go for a bigger biogas tank, bigger biogas plant, and if the raw material available is very small, then we can go with the smaller tanks, okay. Now here we can use the stainless steel, or it is mainly constructed with the concrete tanks, okay. Now what we are going to do in the biogas plant? Now firstly we are collecting the raw material. The raw material is nothing but it is the cow dung. Along with the cow dung, even the urine of the cattle's animals is also placed. Along with that, even water, okay. So cow dung plus water is mixed, it forms into a slurry, and that fluidic slurry is released into the inlet tank. Then this slurry comes into the digester. Digester is the larger tank which is made up of a concrete tank. It is made up of a concrete tank. Now this concrete tank, its depth is around 10 to 15 feet below the ground surface. It can be constructed above the ground surface also, 10 to 15 feet. So it is a little bit larger. Now when this dung plus water is released into this digester, initially it has to be left for 1 week or 2 weeks, so that the microbial activity has to take place. The microbes which are present in the cow dung, they are said to be methanobacterium. They are called methanogens, and the name of the methanogens is methanobacterium. Methanogens are the microorganisms which are involved in production of biogas, methane gas. Now these methanogens, commonly we call them as methanogens, but their particular name is methanobacterium. So these methanobacteria, they are present in the dung naturally, and they are going to produce biogas, and this is an anaerobic process. So anaerobically, so these are anaerobic microbes. That means we are not supplying oxygen here. They are anaerobic microbes, where they act on the organic substances and they will release the gases, okay. Now in the digester, after all the fermentation process by these methanogens, the methane gas is produced. The produced methane gas, it enters into a chamber. This is called as a gas holder. It is called as gas holder. Now in the gas holder, the biogas, mainly we call it as a methane gas, is accumulated. Biogas or methane gas is accumulated. Now what are the gases that are produced here? The gases that are produced in the biogas plant are CH4, CO2 and H2 hydrogen. Remember this. Recall the biogases that are produced in STPs. Recall them. There also we have got methane, carbon dioxide, along with that H2S, hydrogen sulfide. Here we have got H2. Okay. So this is the basic difference. That's why it will be asked for an objective question that name the gases produced by the biogas plant. It is, the answer will be CH4, CO2 and H2, and name the gases produced in STPs where the biogas is formed. In STP it is a third one is H2S. How to remember this logically? ಇದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಎಸ್ ಟಿ ಪಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ CH4 CO2 these are common, H2 STP sewage treatment plant as it starts with the letter S, remember H2S. Logically ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. Otherwise initially while dealing with the topic, while dealing with the chapter you will remember it, but in long term course you will forget it. So that's why this is the easy trick to remember the gases of biogas exact plant and the STP biogas. Okay. Now this is the part. Now in the gas holder all the gases will accumulate here, and on the sides it is tied to avoid the leakage of the biogas. Later on this biogas enters into a gas pipe. This is a gas pipe, and this is connected to the kitchens. Okay, the gas pipe is connected to the kitchens where this biogas can be used for cooking purpose as well as a lighting purpose. Okay, then the used up or the spent slurry from the digester. Now here we go on adding, here it will rise. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಹಂಗೆ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದೇನಾಗ್ತದೆ, the after the production of the methane gas the used up slurry will come up, then it will enter into this exit pipe and enters into the outlet. This outlet we call this as slurry, the spent slurry, used slurry. This can be used as a fertilizer in the agricultural fields. Look at this. That means by the biogas plant we have double benefit, we have dual benefit. What is the dual benefit of this biogas plant? The first benefit is we are going to get the methane gas which is used for cooking purpose or lighting purposes. The second product that we are going to get is we are going to get the fertilizer which can be used in the form of manure in the agricultural fields. So this is the dual benefit of the biogas plant. Okay. Now who has initiated this? The biogas plant, who has initiated this? Now this was initiated by KVIC. This is Khadi and Village Industries Commission. Then it was also initiated by IARI. This is Indian Agricultural Research Institute. Indian Agricultural Research Institute. Now Khadi and Village Industries Commission and IARI, Indian Agricultural Research Institute, they have initiated this biogas plant in the rural areas. Now it can be implemented only in the rural areas, it cannot be implemented in the urban areas. As you know, the raw material required for this is the cow dung. Okay. Now the question comes, in the cow dung naturally occurring microorganisms are there, we call them as methanogens. What is the role of methanogens in the cattle? Okay, so let's look at the role. The role of methanogens in the rumen of cattle is It helps in digestion of cellulose, which increases the nutritional value of the cattle. The role of methanogens, this is most important. What is the role of methanogens in the rumen? Rumen is the gut region, the intestinal region in the rumen of the cattle. It is a digestion of cellulose. Cellulose is digested by these methanogens, which is naturally present in the rumen, in the gut, in the intestine of the cattle. Remember, these methanogens won't produce the biogas in the rumen of the cattle, but in turn they will help in digestion of cellulose, which is taken in the form of food by the animals. So this is one of the most important objective type of question. Write or explain the role of methanogens in cattle. The role of methanogens is digestion of cellulose, where by which it will increase its nutritional value, by which it is going to increase its nutritional content. Okay, so that is the most important peculiarity of the methanogens in the rumen of cattle, in the gut of the cattle. Now, as it is naturally present in the cow dung, we are producing the methane gas from this. And remember, these are anaerobic microbes. Which one? These methanogens, they are anaerobic microbes. In absence of oxygen, they are going to produce the methane gas. Okay. So this is regarding the biogas plant, which will be asked for a again single 5-mark level question, either sewage treatment plant or biogas plant. So these two are the major parts of the chapter, and in each part we have to remember the microbes which are responsible to produce certain products, because the chapter itself, as I have informed you, it deals with microbes in human welfare, which microbes are used to produce various types of products. Either it might be in the production of the food, or either it might be in the production of the industries, or it might be in the sewage treatment plants or biogas. Okay, so you have to remember this one. Okay, now what has to be written? Now let me tell you in short once again. Now listen it carefully. Biogas is nothing but it is the methane gas, where it is produced by the raw material called as cow dung, and due to the use of the raw material cow dung, it is also said to be gobar gas. Now the success of the biogas production, it became useful to the mankind due to the presence of the anaerobic microbes, where we call them as methanogens, and its particular name is a methanobacterium. Now these methanobacterium, they are present in the rumen of the cattle. The role of these methanogens is to digest the cellulose present in the food particles, where it increases the nutritional quality of the cattle. Then in this biogas plant, what we are doing is, we are constructing a plant having an inlet, a digester and a outlet. In the inlet we are using dung plus water mixed and added here. It is poured there, then it comes to the digester. Digester is the concrete tank where it measures around 10 to 15 feet in its depth, where this dung and water are allowed for the process of fermentation activity here, where they produce the gas, and this gas, methane gas, like CH4, CO2 and H2 accumulate in the gas holder, where it is connected with the gas pipe, which is used for cooking as well as the lighting purposes. The used up or the spent slurry comes in the outlet part, and this slurry can be used in the agricultural fields in the form of manure. So this is regarding the biogas plant. Now who has initiated this? This was initiated by IARI and KVIC. It is a Khadi and Village Industries Commission and Indian Agricultural Research Institute. Okay. Now this helps to overcome LPG. Instead of using LPG, why can't we go for a biogas plant? Okay, it is the best and it can be used for a family. Now its scope is given by KVIC and IARI, but it is limited only to the rural areas. This is because of the raw material used, because we are using the raw material as cow dung, and hence biogas plant can be implemented only in the rural areas. Okay, and if you have this biogas setup in your locality nearby your places, or if you have your own, it's well and good. You can just visit the biogas plant, you can just see how the various different types of gases are produced and what are the materials they are using, and later on how they have constructed. Either they are constructed below the ground or on the ground surface. It depends on their utility and it depends on the raw material. Okay, quantity of the raw material also, right? So with this, let's finish off the biogas plant, and in the coming class, let's look at the new part of the chapter. Thank you.